August is over, September's underway, meaning that 2/3 of the year is now history. So how are home sales in Tallahassee? Follow along as I walk you through current housing market conditions, mortgage interest rates, and home sales trends in 2021 when compared to previous years, each through August. Finally, my conclusion will give you an idea of where the market is heading as we begin moving towards 2022 and which factors will decide its future. I've included a link below to the current listings of homes for sale in Tallahassee. They are sorted by price from high to low. I include these listings with the report so that our viewers can observe the record high rate of listings already under contract with buyers. Hi, I'm Joe Manausa, author of The Business of Getting Business and the creator of Manausa.com, where I've helped tens of thousands of people buy and sell homes. I would like to help you too. If you already are a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. If you're not a subscriber, please consider becoming one now. We offer the most thorough and accurate housing market reports on YouTube, plus answers to your real estate frequently asked questions, and we also provide virtual tours of some of the most beautiful homes in Tallahassee. Please remember to like this video, then hit subscribe and click the bell so that you're the most informed buyer or seller in your next real estate transaction. The first graph in today's report shows how each month's sales compared with the same month the year prior. We refer to this as year-over-year home sales. A year-over-year home sales comparison provides insight into market changes by removing the seasonal impact at any given time of the year. For example, we only compare September to September or December to December, thus the seasonal changes throughout the year are not a factor. Even a cursory glance at this graph tells you that this market is hot. Year-over-year home sales rose 19% in August, and we've now seen 12 straight months of gains, meaning every single month over the past year was better than its corresponding month the year prior. This graph shows the number of homes sold during the first 8 months in each of the past 20 years. Strong home sales have led 2021 to post the third best year ever through August, trailing only 2005 and 2006 when speculative buyers caused the market to explode. I can tell you from the street that today's demand, while strong, is nothing like what we saw in 2005 and 2006. I do not see nearly the number of people buying to flip. Rather, it's those that plan on using the home as a residency that are the primary drivers in this market. So what's driving this strong organic demand? This graph plots more than 50 years worth of average monthly mortgage interest rates, and the news is nothing but good for both buyers and sellers. One has to wonder just how long these low mortgage interest rates will last. The blue dashed line shows that the general decline of rates goes back 40 years, and you have to wonder when rates will head into the long-term trend of generally rising mortgage interest rates. Make no mistake about it, we're in a mortgage interest rate driven market right now. People understand that rates today are likely to be lower now than they will ever see for the rest of their lives, so they're buying homes to lock in the deal of a lifetime. So how do we assess current demand that these low rates have created? This graph shows a breakdown of the current home listings today. Homes for sale that are not yet under contract with buyers are plotted in red, while homes for sale that are under contract with buyers are plotted in blue. The green line reports the percentage of homes listed that are under contract, while the dashed green line shows the one-year trend of this under contract percentage. Roughly 3 of every 5 homes listed for sale right now are already under contract with buyers. The green line in the graph shows that 59% of the current listings are already under contract, and the one-year trend of the under contract percentage is at an all-time high of more than 56%. The reason that we plot the one-year trend of the average, the dashed green line, is to ensure we understand the true direction of the inventory status changes. For example, the solid green line has been declining for the past 3 months, so you might think we're seeing the market shift to a less frenzied state. In fact, I recently read an article where somebody claimed that to be the case in the US market, but people like that fail to understand the seasonal impact of both listings and sales in the market. Take a look at the dashed green line that has been rising. here's what it reveals. In most years, we see the number of fresh new listings rise faster than demand during the months of June, July, and August. This normal, seasonal increase in supply has brought the under contract percentage down for the past 3 months. But the current percentage is higher than it was at this time last year. So the declines that we're seeing are seasonal. The market is actually moving further into scarcity of supply. To better understand what this means exactly for today's buyers, let's compare today's market with what buyers were seeing at the beginning of this graph back in 2011. As I produce this report, there are 1,232 homes for sale in Leon County, but only 534 of them are really available, as buyers have the other 698 already under contract. So a buyer today has just 534 homes available to purchase. At this time in 2011, there were nearly 1,800 homes available, and there were far fewer buyers looking at them. The competition for the few homes is so high today, buyers don't have time to think. They must react fast when a new home hits the market. This means today's buyers have to be prepared well ahead of time. If you go looking at houses before you get your finances in order, expect to be heartbroken. You'll lose out on the home you love, only to find homes more expensive once you get your affairs together. Smart sellers are taking cash offers or offers with limited financing contingencies, so forget about getting your dream home with a contract that asks sellers to wait for you to find financing. Again, get your loan documents completed before looking at homes. It's the only way to entice a seller to take your offer. I strongly encourage all buyers to meet with a buyer's agent to put together a complete acquisition plan so that when the right home is found, you have a fair opportunity to get it. Remember, other buyers will be bidding on the home too, so you have to appear strong so that the seller will even consider your offer. For the first 10 or so years of my career, we saw real estate appreciation average a little more than 3% each year. But the craziness of the housing market in the early 2000s has created chaos ever since and has led to a market appreciation that is soaring today. The best way to measure real estate appreciation across the market is to measure the changes in the median existing home value each year. We simply record the price per square foot of each home sold, sort them by this measurement, and then choose the one in the middle for each year. This graph plots the change in the median home value each year. Blue bars show growth, red bars show declines. The graph shows clearly that the rampant appreciation that began last year has continued. In an earlier market report, I had forecast double-digit appreciation for 2021. Through 2/3 of the year, appreciation is more than 9.7%, an annualized rate of nearly 15%. It wouldn't take too many years at this appreciation rate to render the Tallahassee housing market unaffordable, creating a situation where only the wealthiest among us could afford to buy a home. Needless to say, that's not good. If you want to know more about home affordability, I recommend you watch my recent video warning of a U.S. home ownership rate crash that appears as if we're doomed to experience in the all too near future. I've included a link below to this video. Having seen that the current market appreciation rate shows the median existing home value has risen 10% thus far in 2021, let's explore what it has done to the median home price. This graph shows the median home price each year. The median's not the average, rather it's the price of the home in the middle when all homes are lined up according to each sales price. This graph shows the rapid rise in home prices. The median home price for existing homes is $226,950. For new homes, the median has shot up to $323,400. And overall, the median home price in Tallahassee is $240,000. Considering our median home price was below $200,000 as recently as 2018, it's not hard to see how home prices are getting out of control. Fortunately for buyers, interest rates remain low enough that the monthly payment to carry the median home is better today than what it's been in all but 9 of the past 30 years. But this is a short-term opportunity, unless you believe interest rates will move lower to continue covering the rising cost of homes. Up to this point, we've seen that the supply of homes for sale is far too low and the competition for available listings is fierce among buyers. Our next graph serves to demonstrate how this dynamic disrupts the home buying experience. I call this my normal graph. Here we see the percentage of homes sold each month. During normal market conditions, Roughly 1/6 of the homes sell each month, which is highlighted by the red shaded field in the middle of the graph. But look to the right side of the graph. Today's market is now more than doubling that amount. In the last month alone, nearly 40% of all listings sold, and that was the lowest we've seen in the past 6 months. That's hardly normal. A red dot is placed each month to show the percentage of the inventory that's sold. If there were no seasonality in real estate, we would expect to see about 1/6 of the homes sell each month, 16.7% actually. But seasonality is real, so we actually expect to see roughly 4 months above normal, 4 months near normal, and 4 months below normal during a typical year. This graph makes it very clear. This is not a typical year. In fact, we've seen very few typical years since the housing bubble of 2006. When the market was coming out of its collapse, we went more than 8 years without a single month landing within the normal range. There were just too many homes on the market, and it was common for fewer than 1/10 of them to sell each month. Now, low inventory levels have created the opposite effect. More than 2 out of every 5 homes listed for sale sold over the past 6 months. That means when buyers go looking at homes, there's really not that much available that's not already under contract with buyers. The housing market is insanely one-sided right now, with far more buyers than sellers. If you have a home to sell and pre-market it correctly, you will get offers on the first day your home is available to be seen. Ensure that your broker uses an omni-channel marketing plan with an emphasis on pre-marketing, and you'll be able to choose from multiple offers that you receive. If you'd like to know more about selling a home in the digital age, I've included a link above to a video that you should watch. Now, I must warn you, today's market conditions are heavily influenced by current historically low mortgage interest rates. When rates rise, it will have an immediate and significant impact on demand if they rise too quickly. The luxury homes market could very well go dormant, as it has been super hot over the past few years, setting an all-time high in 2020 and then again this year. The top end of the market is most susceptible to collapse due to rising mortgage interest rates, so high-end sellers need to make hay while the sun is shining. So long as rates rise gradually, we'll see demand cool in the market, but not in a damaging way. The lower demand will increase the relative supply of homes and hopefully slow the out-of-control appreciation of home values. I would expect to see this happen fairly soon if the Fed sees any signs of inflation, but forecasting the future of mortgage interest rates is highly speculative. Real estate market conditions make it the best time I've seen in my 30-plus years selling homes in Tallahassee to sell a home within a predictable time frame. If you're wanting to move, do so now so that you can sell your current home fast and get into your new one financed below 3% for a 30-year fixed-rate loan. If you would like to see more videos about current housing market conditions, I've assembled a great playlist that you can view by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. For a playlist of my top tips for home sellers, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.